In this quick video, I just want to bring one point to the table about the reading for this work folder, Come In CQ. But what I say here will also apply to the readings that will be included in the remaining folders. These are readings that you're not going to write on, but that you need to read, and you need to pay attention to how the author is creating interest, maintaining it, and rewarding it. The three big goals of good writing. It starts with picking the right topic. So each one of these has a topic that should be relevant to some section of society. The larger the better, but definitely not overly specialized to just a small group of people. Remember that if you were to stand in front of a room with 100 smart, literate Americans, ages 20 to 80, I don't know, how many of them would realize that your topic is relevant and interesting if you were to talk to them about it? So when it comes to technology, when it comes to communicating online, when it comes to online dating, that's going to be connecting with more than just a few people. I'm not going to say every single person in that room of 100 is going to be enthralled by it, but it's more than just a few that will have some experience with that, or some something, some point of connection or of reference to the topic. And I want you to think that way when you see the other topics in the next work folders. You know, what is this person doing with this topic, and why was this topic chosen to write on? So there is a notion where good writers are going to be passionate about their topic, and to some extent, that's a good way to think about it. But the understanding of how to create interest, maintain, and reward it with all the topics that are out there, there can be a skill set that just learns how to do this with topics that aren't necessarily all that passion driven, or not necessarily passionate topics concerning when it comes to the creator, the author, right? It's this way with so many skill sets, isn't it? I'm a pretty good woodworker, and I build small furniture, I build chairs, I build bookshelves, frames, all sorts of things. I hand saw, and there's a lot of skill that I've acquired over the years, but I'm never going to present myself as a professional carpenter, but I've got some skill there, and I'm telling you, I can build you a bookshelf and do it well, even if I'm bored to death with it. Okay. Same thing with piano playing. Someone might be able to play a composition and be bored to death by the composition, but still at least technically get it right. So there is a sense where you need to stop thinking about, well, the only things I can write about well are the stuff I'm passionate about. Instead, you should be thinking about that room of 100 people and thinking, what are the topics that's going to catch them, and how can I present it in a way that's going to create interest, maintain, and reward it? That's what I'm going to write about, not necessarily something that is interesting to me, something that I'm passionate about. I still remember the student that was majoring in aviation at Kent State University, and all this person could think about was turbos. I mean, this person was in love with turbo engines, and they couldn't really come up with anything. To them, it was extremely interesting. But if I think of that room of 100 in the audience, I'm not sure if we're going to get above 5% that are really going to be interested in turbos. So finally, the idea was that he write on how being turbocharged was a symbol of masculinity or something. I can't remember, but we were just trying to get this thing off life support. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, what I want you to do here is watch how these authors are trying to pick topics that create interest, maintain, and reward it. Look at their writing style. look at the way they try to layer. If there is a layering going on, how is it done? Well, what I mean by layering is that you're going to get a certain narrative right on the top level, if you will. That's the thing that your eyes get involved in. That's the actual story that's apparently right there. But that story might be evocative, or it might resonate with so many other things that are at play in the writing. Just like the so many movies that speak to you and that you love, or songs that you end up putting in your favorites list or whatever, not only give you that surface level lyric and rhythm that is fun or moving in its own right, but they connect themselves to deeper issues that we as humans are at home in, find ourselves constantly brushing up against. So in Kaminsky Q, this is an engineer, a software engineer who is talking about a moment in her past where she began to discover, right, that she loved displaced communication. She loved this being able to talk to someone states away, over the wire, over the airwaves. And what did that mean? What sort of relationship would that lead to when the voice is highlighted and nothing else? Is the voice an even better carrier of personality than the body and real presence? What I mean by that is, like, just you've obviously got a body, but now go put that body next to someone else's body, okay? Be in the same room with someone and look at them. That's what I mean by real presence. Okay, so right now we don't have real presence because you can see I have a body, but you can turn me off and obviously I'm not in your room. But what does this sort of communication, asynchronous, pre-recorded, that's not like the communication she was experiencing, where it's live and it's okay. All right, so we're getting, there are issues there that are rich, if you will, or potentially rich in terms of, if we stopped and analyzed this, could it be part of the puzzle that I'm putting together in this essay? I'm talking like Ullman, because at the end of the day, you're putting pieces together, right? Ideas, words, observations, questions, answers. You're putting these pieces together and you're trying to make a picture show up. It's like you're putting a puzzle together. And if you put the pieces right, if you find what sort of pieces to use and you put them in the correct place against each other, something brilliant and beautiful can rise to the surface. Something that's balanced, arresting in the sense that it captures your interest, your attention, something that works together organically, that just fits, okay? And that is, in fact, what the word composition is all about. I mean, you look at the word root of the thing, and it's come to position alongside, okay? And the idea is you're putting together not only paragraphs and sentences alongside each other to make one bigger piece, but it's more than that. It's thoughts, ideas that are represented by the words, questions, answers, notions, and you put these together. You learn how to draw the boundaries and say these notions work together for this picture that I'm doing, and the painting, the text becomes much more artistic than otherwise. So there's an element of art in these essays that you're going to read. Okay, and this art you can learn how to do, and you can bring it to nonfiction writing, like your essay writing and so forth. So I want you to grow through this, and I really want you to remember that for me, you're never going to become a better writer in earnest and in a way that actually stays with you if we're just writing essays and I'm just putting red ink on it, comments, and sending it back for you to revise. That is not how it works, because that is overly passive and it's full of grunt work, because I'm prescribing too much. Okay, the only way you're really going to get better is you're going to have to just write a lot, and you're going to have to read a lot. You're going to have to participate in writing, and you're going to have to watch others participate. You do and you watch, and then you do and you watch. You analyze by watching, and then you try to imitate that by doing back and forth for a couple years. And to me, that's how you actually become a better writer. So there is a sense that when we do these classes, we're all sort of kind of just playing a game that the universities have set up towards completion of your degree. The degree at this point in time is just simply an indication that you've been pre-trained, if you will, towards a certain career path. It really, I don't know if it really has enough in it to really expand you as a thinker and as a person alive in a dying world. So that's I don't know if we value that anymore in higher education. So this is something I'm trying to do to bring that back a little bit, to remind you, hey, you are an artist at the heart. And you might not believe that. You might not have much to show for that, but you've not given yourself a chance yet. Okay, so many of you have, but some of you haven't. And you really need to figure out where to start and see if you can move forward with this, all right? And to become a better writer in this case, you have to invest time reading good writing. Just like if you want to become a better cinematographer or screenwriter or director, you need to spend time not only trying to make short film or film that you can make, but you need to be spending time watching great movies. If you want to become a better musician, not only must you practice and compose, but you need to be listening. You need to be listening to other great music. So let's get started on this, all right? Your job as a writer for these essays, this and 2 more in the next work weeks, is to be a reader, okay? Writing and reading, they go together. Essentially, I'm saying it's the same activity. Okay, thank you for watching.